Today on the Trent Out Loud podcast. This is the thing that makes Donald Trump easy to love and easy to hate. What up? It's your boy, Trent Out Loud, and I'm back with another episode. All right, it's a Monday morning, fresh off the weekend. I'm rested and ready to give you guys a good show. All right, we got 4 lead stories today. We're going to talk about Donald Trump's failed assassination attempt, his second failed assassination attempt. Then we're going to talk about Donald Trump Jr., his son, saying that Haitians have a low IQ level and they shouldn't be allowed in the country. We're going to talk Shannon Sharpe's rumored ex-gay lover speaking out about him going live on Instagram last week. Then we're going to close out lead stories with Donald Trump referring to male Latin superstar Nicky Jams as a hot woman. Then we're going to jump into quick news. We got a little bit more Donald Trump. We're going to talk about the quietest room in the world. OnlyFans models making more than NBA players. UFC mistaken Terence for Kendrick Lamar. And Vance admitting to creating stories in the media for attention. Then after we're done with quick news, we're going to jump into question of the day and close out, as we always do, with a little bit of sports news. Y'all know what time it is. Turn your radios, your TVs, your devices up. I'm about to start this show. Let's go. Donald Trump breaks his silence after Florida golf club shooting. FBI says apparent suspect targeted Trump, and they're treating this as a second assassination attempt on his life. And also, Kamala Harris speaks out. Former President Donald Trump breaks his silence after shots were fired near his Florida golf club, and FBI says that they have apprehended the subject who was targeting Donald Trump. And this incident is being treated as the second assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump. Immediately after someone from Trump's campaign spoke out and confirmed he was safe, Stephen Cohen told reporters that President Trump is safe following gunshots in his vicinity. He said no further details were available at this time. Soon after, former president's son, Donald Trump, sent a tweet saying shots fired at Trump's golf course in West Palm Beach, Florida. An AK-47 was discovered in the bushes per law enforcement. The Donald Trump campaign has released a statement confirming President Trump is safe, also sharing that a man was apprehended and in police custody, and that the AK-47 style rifle was recovered in nearby bushes. They went on to say, we're now learning that the U.S. Secret Service agents opened fire after seeing the muzzle of the suspect's rifle push through the fence line at Donald Trump's golf resort. The suspect fled the scene in a car, and witnesses helped officers track down the suspect's car to arrest him without incident. Officials are working on warrants and pre-trial detention motion to keep the suspect in custody as they investigate. The suspect in the incident was around 300 to 500 yards away from Trump. After the incident, the former president broke his silence, and so did Vice President Kamala Harris, saying that her and Joe Biden were briefed on what happened to Donald Trump and that he was okay. All right, so let's read here what Trump put out. He said, there were gunshots in my vicinity, but before rumors start spiraling out of control, I wanted you to hear it from me first. I am safe and well. Nothing will slow me down. I will never surrender. I will always love you for my support. Peace, unity, make America great again. Peace and unity coming from Donald Trump. He said, may God bless you. Kamala Harris tweeted out, I have been briefed on reports of gunshots fired near former President Trump at his property in Florida, and I am glad he is safe. Violence has no place in America. All right, that was a lot of information, but I have one more thing to play for you. Here is a news conference to keep you guys a little bit up to date on what's going on. Take a listen.
The FBI has just issued a new statement where it says it's responding to what it calls an attempted assassination of former President Trump. And that's obviously deeply significant because we have not been calling this an assassination attempt until now.
All right, I wanted to play that news clip for you just to give you the whole picture of everything that happened yesterday, and also to kind of just relay my thoughts and what some other people might be saying online. It's kind of funny that it first comes out like, oh, shots fired around the golf course. And then a couple of hours later, it's like, oh, no, it wasn't just shots or it wasn't just random. It was an assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump. Like, this to me seems like You know, something random may have happened. Of course, a lot of people are saying that it was planned and he planned this. And a lot of people said this too about the first one. I don't believe the first one was staged. Everything now is staged. I don't believe that was staged. But I will admit this one seems a little bit fishy. If not staged, definitely probably just a random shooting that happened near it. And Donald Trump called people up and was like, yo, can you make this a second assassination attempt so I could rile up my base so people could, you know, oh my gosh, he's the most hated man in America. They want to silence me, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. But at the same time, you know, if it was real, if it is an assassination attempt, I mean, definitely nothing to laugh at. And you know, you don't want, like Kamala Harris says, you don't want violence in politics, right? You want it to be a democratic society. You want it to be peaceful, a peaceful transfer of power. But like Charlemagne always says, JD Vance and Donald Trump, they're the ones always inciting, you know, negative, divisive rhetoric. And I think that might be, you know, the underlying tone why you have some non-violent, or why you have some violence, you know, in this election, or you have some violence around Trump. I mean, he initiated, I can't speak today. Sorry, it's Monday morning. He initiated a riot at the Capitol, right? July 6th. We all know. January 6th. We all know about that, right? Anyways, look, glad Mr. Trump is okay. Glad President Trump is okay. And assassination attempt, nothing more to it. It's done. It's over with. Let's move on. All right, in our second lead story, Donald Trump Jr. seemingly implies that Haitian migrants should not be let into America due to low IQ and their demographic makeup. The apple does not fall far from the tree, right? Donald Trump Jr. is facing some serious backlash after he seemingly implied that Haitians shouldn't be allowed into the U.S. over low IQ scores. You look at Haiti, you look at the demographic makeup, you look at the average IQ. If you import the third world into your country, you're going to become a third world. He said in an interview, this is just basic. It's not racist. It's just the facts. This comes after his father, Donald Trump, commented during the presidential debate last Tuesday, saying in Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that are coming in, he said, referring to the Haitian migrants. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people who live there. Like I said, the apple does not fall far from the tree. Oh, actually, I forgot. I have a little quote. You could, I have a little video. You could hear him say it live. Take a listen.
You look at Haiti, you look at the demographic makeup, you look at the average IQ. If you import the third world into your country, you are going to become the third world.
Like I say to you guys all the time, this is part of their campaign. I know to, I don't want to say regular people, but the common everyday folk, it's crazy of the things that they say, but this is Donald Trump's MO. He has JD Vance say things that are outlandish. He has his son say things that are outlandish. It riles up his base. It gets us talking, gets the news, content creators, and you hear Donald Trump more than you hear about Kamala Harris. And that's how he won in 2016, and that's how he's going to win now. They don't necessarily like the way he goes about things, but they like his policy, and they like that he's not afraid to say what he wants to say, how he wants to say it. And there's people who like that. The more they come out and the more they say these things, the more we highlight it, it's the better it is for them with their strategy. Let's see if it works in November, but this is why you hear them saying things like this. And don't get me wrong, they believe it, but you know, most people would just not say it out loud. They do. All right, in our third lead story, Shannon Sharpe's former stylist and rumored gay lover says it's impossible to go live on Instagram by accident. Okay, well, we all know that, bro. Everybody said that since day one. Anyways, he does have some more things to say. After Shannon Sharpe accidentally went on live while getting freaky with a woman named Michelle, his ex-stylist Hollywood has been posting some cryptic messages on his IG stories. Y'all remember that rumors were going around that Shannon and Hollywood had a little something going on. And then it was rumored that Shannon let Hollywood go because people felt like them two had a relationship. So he decided to just let him go. Allegedly, their split was just more than just business, but Hollywood has been really quiet, and he just posted on his Instagram and he said, "So much I want to say, but nah, I'll wait till the right time. So to me, this is just Hollywood taking an opportunity to get some clout and maybe kind of put out a little bit of a threat to Shannon Sharpe. Behind closed doors, he's probably, probably hitting up Shannon for some money, like, pay me if you want me to keep quiet. Because nowadays, like Charlemagne always says, I always quote Charlemagne because I watch The Breakfast Club every day, but like Charlemagne says, nobody believes the truth when the lie is more entertaining, right? So it's like, hey, whether people believe me or not, the lie that I put out there is going to be so salacious. So I think this is probably like, he went out to Shannon. Shannon was like, nah, I'm not going to pay you money. And he's like, okay, let me put a teaser out there to see, what people are going to believe. So look, at the end of the day, Shannon kind of did this himself with being so defensive when these gay rumors came out. Like, no, I'm not gay, And then now people thinking that he went on live on purpose to kind of quiet the gay rumors. If you put out a rumor about me that I'm gay now, I would not say a word. Like, you go keep talking. You know what I'm saying? Like, who cares what people think about your sexual orientation? Like, move on. So I think Shannon brought this on himself. If this is a shakedown by Hollywood, I think that Shannon should just let him go, let him say whatever he wants to say, unless there's like video or proof. But even at that, even if there's proof, like, who cares if you're gay, straight, whatever you want to do? Like, it's 2024. This is ridiculous. No one's going to think differently of Shannon if he's gay or straight. It doesn't matter. What they will get him for, though, is lying, because then they're going to try to bring you down because they know you want to hide it and somebody else expose you, which is the reason why you just shouldn't do these things in the first place, right? Just come out and keep it real. Anyways, I'll keep you guys up to date on this. Let me know what you guys think about these rumors. Let me know what you think about Hollywood and Shannon. Do you think there are gay rumors? You think this is a shakedown? Or you think this is just going to go away quiet and we'll talk about something else in the next couple of days? Send me an email, Trent@Exclusive. Oh, I did it again. My cousin's going to text me. Every time I make a mistake with my email, she's like, write your email down so you stop making mistakes. Trent@CFQR600.com. Comment below or send me a DM at any of my social handles @TrentOutLoud. All right, in our fourth and final lead story, Donald Trump declares hate for Taylor Swift after Kamala Harris endorsements and misgenders Latin superstar Nicky Jams at a presidential rally and says that she's hot. All right, we're going to deal with the Taylor Swift comment in quick news. And we're going to tackle this Nicky Jams things here. It's actually really funny. Donald Trump is starting to lose his mojo after Vice President Kamala Harris not only beat him in their first presidential debate, but she has won over America's sweetheart Taylor Swift by endorsing VP Kamala Harris right after the showdown on ABC News. Trump also attempted to gain some Latino votes by having singer Nicky Jams endorse him at a recent rally, but ended up misgendering him as a woman. At his rally in Las Vegas, Nevada on Friday evening, September the 13th, Donald Trump invited Nicky Jams on the stage, but misgendered him and called him a woman, claiming she's hot. Nicky Jams shook the incident off and continued to walk on stage with a bright white smile and a red MAGA hat. After shaking Trump's hand, he continued to reveal why he's endorsing former President Donald Trump. I have a clip. Take a listen.
Latin music superstar Nicky Jams. Do you know Nicky? She's hot. Where's Nicky? Oh, look. I'm glad he came up.
It's an honor to me to meet you, Mr. President.
Yo, you know what makes this incident even worse? Why try to act like nobody heard you? Why not say something and be like, oh my gosh, I totally made a mistake. I thought it was da-da-da-da. Or like come up with something on the spot. Or at least Nicky should have been like, yo, okay, I know I have a girl's name, but say something, like make a joke of it. But to me, why it's even more embarrassing is that he clearly says, oh, she, and then, oh, she's hot. And then you walk on stage and you see a man and then you're just going to continue to just play it off. Like this is Trump taking his supporters for idiots as if like they didn't hear him just say she a million times. Anyways, man, woo, Donald Trump supporters, y'all special. All right, this brings us to quick news. Ring my bell. All right, like I said, we were going to tackle Taylor Swift in quick news. It looks like Donald Trump had to get a few things off his chest about T Swift this morning. As previously reported earlier this week, Taylor Swift shared her endorsement for VP Kamala Harris and Tim Walz right after Donald Trump and VP Harris's face-off with the presidential debate. And just over the weekend, September the 15th, Donald Trump tweets out, "I hate Taylor Swift." Nothing else. Like, I'll put the tweet up literally right beside me, whoever was watching on Spotify and YouTube to see it. The man just wrote, "I hate Taylor Swift." This is the thing that makes Donald Trump easy to love and easy to hate. The people who love that he's so open and honest and non-presidential are like, yo, I love this guy. He says whatever he wants and he doesn't care. But then it also makes him so easy to hate because the people who want a president to be presidential, and I might add, your president should be representing you and everybody in your country. So you might like a homeboy that, you know, likes to just be open and honest, or you might like a girl to be that way, or whatever it is, you know, your son or your daughter. But just think, if you do like this from President Trump, is this man representative of your country? The close to 400 million people. That's what you have to think about, you know? But anyways, this is very unpresidential like of him, just because Taylor Swift endorsed Kamala. A couple of months ago, he had nothing but good things to say about Taylor Swift when he was vying for her endorsement. And now just because he doesn't get it, he says he hates the girl. These are the things that drive me nuts. There's jokes around that are saying that that's why there was a second assassination attempt on his life, because it came a couple of hours after he actually tweeted this out about Taylor Swift. But, yo, man. Donald Trump. All right, in our second quick story, this is very random, but I found it very interesting. No one has lasted more than 55 minutes in the quietest room on earth. All right, people were talking about this all over Twitter and TikTok. Well, it was viral over the weekend. The quietest place in the earth isn't a remote desert, but a research lab in Minnesota. The laboratory houses an echo chamber in a room that absorbs 99.999% of sound, where the silence is so intense visitors can hear their own blood flowing and their bones moving. Imagine being able to hear your blood flowing. That is crazy to me. Built with thick fiberglass, steel, and concrete, this room challenges the mind and body in profound ways. The longest anyone has lasted inside is just 55 minutes, with participants beginning to hallucinate after 30 minutes due to the absence of sound cues essential for balance and orientation. Founder Stephen Orfeld explains that in the chamber, you become the sound, as the quiet forces you to focus on your own bodily functions. For those up for the challenge, the lab offers a tour. The experience costs $600 an hour. While the chamber is traditionally used for product testing, it has gained attention for its potential therapeutic and spiritual effects. I totally want to do this. I don't think I would last longer than like 5 or 10 minutes. I'd probably start freaking out. I would just like to hear how silent silence could be. I am a firm believer that silence is deafening, 100%. I do love a lot of silence, but sometimes I think when it gets too long, it's a little like, all right, need to turn on the TV, need to whatever, blah, blah. But no, I love these things and I like to challenge myself. I know I wouldn't last 55 minutes for sure. But just to be able to hear like that breathing and your blood and whatever, like that'd be great. Like even hearing your bones move, I just thought it'd be really interesting. Anyways, I'll maybe put some information in the comment section to see if you guys are interested to check it out. All right. If anybody goes, let me know. All right. In our third quick story, OnlyFans creators made more last year than every single NBA salary combined. So for those of you who are hating on girls on OnlyFans, well, just to be fair, there's a bunch of other things on OnlyFans. There's even like cooking shows, but we all know it's definitely more female, sexual, pornographic, etc., etc. But y'all are hating on this, especially a lot of men. Oh, she's just an OnlyFans model. She ain't this, she ain't that. 2023 OnlyFans content creators made $6.6 billion, whereas the 2023-2024 NBA combined payroll is $4.9 billion. Not only did they beat the NBA, but they beat them by like $1.7 billion, man. Shout out to content creators. Whether you agree with the, that kind of lifestyle or injury or whatever, one thing I always say when I'm talking about content creators on OnlyFans, it brings a lot more safety towards women. They don't have to be out on the street corners prostituting. They don't also have to be in the strip clubs having men take advantage of them. The people who own the strip clubs are predominantly men taking a majority of their salary. So women get to be in a safe space. They get to keep more of their money. So I love that. And as I always say, I'm a content creator myself. So any podcaster, YouTube, anybody that's creating content, whether it be pornographic or not, I'm going to support all my content creators out there. So shout out to my OnlyFans models bringing in $1.7 billion more than all of the NBA payrolls combined, man. I love seeing stuff like this. All right, in our fourth lead story, Donald Trump shares his plans for verifying citizenship and legal residences if elected. If re-elected. He says he will ban all mortgages for illegal immigrants. Earlier this week, during a rally in Tucson, Arizona, Donald Trump shared his plans to tackle legal immigration if he is reelected as president. He told his supporters that he would work to verify legal citizenship and legal residences. He also vowed to ban mortgages for those who are in the country illegally. Trump explains that this is part of his plan to restore housing and affordability in America. Although Trump claims that California wants to give illegal immigrants mortgages, the governor actually vetoed the bill that would have given those who are undocumented up to $150,000 in state-backed home loans. Newsom addressed this decision and said expanding program eligibility must be carefully considered within the broader context of the annual state budget to ensure we manage our resources effectively. Now, the thing that that doesn't make complete sense to me, is that if you're here illegally, how do you go to a bank and say, I want to get a mortgage? I just don't understand that. If you're illegal, you can't have a bank account. You're not here, really. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're here working under the table, and I'm not condoning that, but I'm just saying, if you're undocumented and illegal, how do you get a mortgage anyways? To me, this seems like, anyways, I don't want to talk about stuff that I don't know. If anybody has, I'll throw this back on you. If anybody has more information on how this could even be possible, let me know. Send me an email, comment below. Or is this something that Donald Trump, again, is talking about that is not really true and just saying, hey, these undocumented immigrants are getting mortgages and I'm going to stop it? Because he does talk about things that he's going to stop that are not even true, right? So anyways, y'all let me know. All right, in our fifth quick story, Dana White addresses Terence Howard and Kendrick Lamar mix-up on a broadcast. The UFC CEO Dana White was asked about the mix-up between Kendrick Lamar and Terence Crawford in a post-fight press conference and acknowledged the mistake and said Terence did look like K-Dot. This is ridiculous that he would even say something like that, but here is Dana White. Take a listen.
Are you expecting to get a text from Kendrick Lamar or Terence Crawford?
That was pretty bad. He did kind of look like Kendrick Lamar, though. Let's not around. He kind of did look like Kendrick Lamar.
So there's kind of like mixed reactions online about this. People are saying that the whoever did that during the broadcast was doing that as like a cultural joke to say, because in Kendrick's track, They Not Like Us, he said, or is it Not Like Us or another one that the diss tracks going at Drake? Anyways, he said in one of the tracks, he said something. I'm Terence. You're more like Terence something. I'm more like Terence Crawford whipping feet. So Kendrick referred to himself as Terence Crawford. So maybe that's why the person did it. Regardless of that, Dana White saying, well, he kind of does look like Terence Crawford. No, he doesn't. They don't look anything alike at all. And it has some racial undertones of saying, all black people look alike. You know what I mean? So anyways, whatever. It's the UFC. No one's going to give Dana White any sort of backlash. They get away with saying whatever they want and doing whatever they want. All right, in our sixth and final quick story, JD Vance admits to creating stories when asked about the rumor of immigrants eating pets in Springfield, Ohio. All right. Donald Trump and his running mate, JD Vance, had made pets across the country shook all week after they claimed that Haitian immigrants in Springfield, Ohio have been eating pets. The remarks have been proven false, and now it seems JD Vance is gaining more attention relating to the matter after admitting to creating stories. On Sunday, he spoke with CNN's Dana Bash and was asked if he would acknowledge that the pet comment is a rumor with no evidence. JD claimed that the evidence is first-hand account by his constituents that tell him this happened. He continued to claim that he had been trying to bring light to the issue in Springfield for months, but the media ignored him. Vance then continued to state, if I have to create stories so that American media actually pays attention to the suffering of the American people, then that's what I'm going to do. As Dana tried to clarify Vance's remarks about creating the stories, he added, I say we're creating a story, meaning we're creating the American media's focus. Like, this guy is crazy, man. Very important to note, Ohio Governor Mike DeWine, who is a Republican, addressed claims about Haitian migrants and that he called it a piece of garbage that is simply not true. He continued to defend the Haitian migrants in the city and added, this discussion about Haitians eating dogs is not helpful. And again, these people are here legally. They are here legally and they want to work, and they are in fact working. And when you talk to their employers, what the employers are telling us is we don't know what we would do without them. They are working, and they are working very hard. You see what I'm saying about like how the mortgages, like they'll talk about things that are not even true. You know what I'm saying? Like JD Vance is like, yo, I need to bring attention to this. We're even going to create and make up stories about Haitian people eating cats and dogs so that we can bring attention to Ohio State. And then you talk to the mayor of Ohio State and you're like, hey, by the way, I'm Republican. By the way, Haitians are here legally. By the way, they're working. By the way, when you talk to the people who they're working for, they're saying, wow, I don't know what we would do without them. They're hard-working people. Do you see what the craziness that goes on with JD Vance and Donald Trump? And again, I'm not here to bash Donald Trump. I'm not here to tell you who to vote for. When Kamala Harris or Joe Biden do something that I think is stupid, I call it out too. But this has to be one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen in politics. I watched the whole interview on CNN yesterday, and Dana Bash is there literally trying to interrupt as much as she can just so that she doesn't let JD spew so much of this garbage. And then he has the nerve to say, Dana, I'm coming on your show. Can you let me speak? You're interrupting me. I didn't hear you interrupt Kamala Harris when you had her on your show interviewing her. And she's like, well, no, because I don't have to interrupt her because she's not saying that Haitian people are eating dogs. So I have to interrupt you because you're saying such fallacies. You know what I mean? Like, it's just mind-blowing, man. You have a mayor who's saying, yo, there's no problems here. We're good. The Haitian people, we love them, and they're here legally. JD Vance's like, nah, we're going to make up stories, yo. Like, it's crazy to me, man. All right, this brings us to question of the day. All right, I think I found a good question of the day for y'all. Open discussion. What is killing relationships nowadays? Chef Boy Key says zero communication, zero morals, and too much social media. Well, I think zero communication is not an issue with outside, right? Because what's killing relationships nowadays, to me, it's okay, fine. I get zero communication. I think is blamed on the people, is what I'm trying to say. I'm looking for answers that are more like outside, you know, like TV is killing relationships, people being on their phones. If you have zero communication, that's your fault, homeboy. Zero morals. That's 100% true. I agree with that point. And then too much social media. Yes, I'll get into that later. Louis VBJ said, people thinking they got options and that everybody is replaceable. Okay, fine. She Love CJ says, I know y'all don't want to hear this, but no, not leading with God in a relationship. All right, hey, if you're Christian, you're religious, all the more power to you. Ugada8285 said, not healing properly from previous relationships and childhood trauma. Woo! Let me give you a round of applause for that, yo. As a mental health advocate, I love that. That is amazing. Great. I love that answer. And we don't even have to go into the childhood trauma part, but just not allowing yourself time to heal from previous relationships is really detrimental to any new relationship, because you're going on into that relationship with so much baggage and so much animosity and so much like bitterness from the other person that you go right to this new person and like, I want to make sure you're not like that person, and you don't allow yourself to live in the moment, right? So love that. Another person said pride, ego, social media. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Ego for sure is a huge, huge relationship killer. Pride, which is kind of like the same thing. Empress Raw said, everyone thinks they have so many options, they overlook the people who really care about them. I really love that answer. That is very, 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 very true. People aren't looking for love. They're looking for help. I disagree with that. I think maybe some people are, but I definitely am not looking for help. I'm actually opposed to that. You know what I mean? Like I never wanted to fall in that trap where a lot of guys are like, I want a girl to do this for me. I want a girl to be cooking for me or doing this or taking care or whatever. Like, I think those are relationships that fail, because if you're involved with anybody that has not, if you're involved with somebody and anything has to do with something that's outside of love, it's going to fail at one point, because whatever you need help with, you originally won't need help, or that thing won't be there. You know what I mean? So, you know, when you're 70 years old, are you going to need that thing anymore? No, but you're always going to need love, right? So disagree with that one. Lack of emotional intelligence and self-control. I agree with that. I agree. Unrealistic expectations, 1000%. Comparisons. Okay. I might be guilty of that. 100% sure. Unknown boundaries and intentions. Love this. Social media, no accountability, poor communication skills, thinking you have many options. All right, so seeing that a bunch of people are saying it, I'm going to say that. I'll talk about that. I agree with the social media thing, because everybody has like 1 degree of separation. You might meet somebody that you think is cool, but because social media is so easy to just get access to people and DM and like pictures and do whatever, blah, blah, I do think social media, although not a killer, I just think it kind of dilutes the brain's dating pool, kind of. You know what I mean? Where it's like back in the day before social media, you know, you had to go out and, you know, like, hey, I'm going to, you know, talk to these girls that are in my circle in Montreal. Now it's, you know, it's social media, you know, but you can look at it that it's a relationship killer, but you can also look at it like it's amazing, right? Because you have so much more access to people around the world. But I see it both ways, you know. Somebody else said lack of communication, unhealed childhood trauma, unwillingness to forgive, and immaturity. And oh my gosh, I didn't even realize I'm running out of time. All right, I got to cut this right now. That's it. Done. Good answers. Good questions. Sorry, good answers. Send me a DM or comment below, or send me an email, trent@cfqr600.com. All right, this brings us to sports news. I'm sorry, I had no clue I was running so late. All right, let me just recap of some of the games that happened yesterday. The Vikings beat the 49ers. The Seahawks beat the Patriots. The Giants beat the Commanders. The Chargers beat the Panthers. The Saints beat the Cowboys. They whooped the Cowboys' butt. The Colts beat the Packers. I'm sorry, the Packers beat the Colts. The Browns beat Jaguars. The Jets beat the Titans. Tampa Bay Buccaneers beat Detroit Lions. Raiders beat the Ravens. Yo, I was out last night. They were just picking up Dairy Queen, and there's a Baltimore Ravens fans out there, and he was like, yo, the Baltimore, yo, that was that. Like, Baltimore fans are really upset that they're 0-2, man. Like, they gotta get their act together. Then the Cardinals beat the Rams, and my Kansas City Chiefs beat the Bengals, beat Joe Burrow by 1 point. I love this, 26-25. That was a great game. The Steelers beat the Broncos, and that is it. For some reason, I don't have the Bears-Titans game, and I didn't even remember who won, but I think it was the Titans. Anyways, that's it for sports news. Thank you for kicking with me on this Monday morning. Hope I was able to get you through your day. Before I let you go, just want to remind you of all the ways to keep up with the show. If you are used to watching this podcast on YouTube or listening to it on podcast platforms, it's Monday. Forgive me, guys. All right. And you can't always catch the show. Please try to check me out Monday through Friday from 11 to 12 on CFQR600.com. You can go log on from anywhere in the world, or 600 AM on your radio station if you're in the Montreal area. We do play the Trend Out Loud podcast, but we mix it in with 90s and 2000s hip hop and R&B. It's a great show. It's a great way to pass your 11 to 12 o'clock hour. But vice versa, if you can't always catch the show from 11 to 12, don't worry. We upload every show on podcast platforms and on YouTube. Just go to your desired site, type in Trend Out Loud, the show will pop up. Don't forget to hit the follow or subscribe button so that you could be notified every time we upload a new show. And if you're like me and you like to watch video, Spotify now supports video. So you have YouTube as your option and Spotify. Lastly, check me out on any of my social platforms at Trend Out Loud and the production company Exclusivity Media on Instagram. All right, y'all. I'll catch y'all tomorrow, man. Peace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Trend Out Loud. Peace.